Thank you very much, Leaf. And yeah, I think for a lot of us here, this is all up to Team Queso. Can they make us believers in this potential? Johnny doesn't think so. Turtle, you're gonna join Johnny there?
I like believing in the underdogs. Okay,
but are you gonna say that they're gonna do it?
Yes, I believe.
All right.
Okay, come on,
right.
dude.
Are on the.
It's possible here. All right, this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. Team BDS, Mark Baye's gonna get super confident again. He's gonna, check Twitter. He's gonna see something that just throws his whole mentality off.
What could he possibly see, Turtle? What could he see that would throw off his mentality? It isn't there. Listen, the chat's got some seriously bad typing accuracy because I don't know how 16% of them misclicked Queso to win this.
Was that Johnny?
That being said, okay, you do actually have a pretty quick turnaround, a conversion rate on your prediction, Mark Baye.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Completely messed up on that one, I will give you that. But it's not going to happen for the rest of this game. They're going to come back. They're going to win. It's marked by 8-0. Don't worry about it.
Well, we are going to be able to find out. I have two analysts with me who seem very certain. Well, one of them is very certain. Another one that might just be trolling him as we go off the crossbar. Good pressure so far from Team Case. They'll be hoping that at least a little bit of the break. Both one, re-energize them, and two, put their opponents a bit on ice. Team BDS. Their brilliant selves in our first series. So far, this pressure has been good. They can't afford to give it away, though.
I'm really curious what Team Queso did during the break as well. I mean, you've got to drop the control. I'm a big fan of just mentally refreshing. You've got to either get away from your setup, take a little walk around, because it can be that, easy to refresh your mentality and get back in here and play like it's a brand new series and just forget about the previous scoreline. And from what we've seen so far, this pressure, it's definitely alluding to the fact that maybe they did take a little breather, and it's paying dividends.
Turtle, I think it's more likely that they smashed their controllers, not dropped them between this game and the last one. It's just impossible to envision a comeback. That being said, this is, I think, the longest I've seen Queso in attack. Another shot that's this time well saved by Mark. And that's the kind of quality save that Queso were lacking in the first series. It's the kind of saves that give your teammates time to reposition and cover you on the next play.
And it's not really the best hit away for once. BDS just taking hits to get rid of the pressure for a little while rather than setting up their next attack. That's going to drop down. Good challenge from Monkey Moon. He'll win it. It's only as far as the third man as Atomic puts that pressure right back over. Monkey Moon, first attack for BDS. Another miss hit. BDS not quite clicking the same way they were earlier. A couple of miss hits from them so far. Not reading the bounces.
Yeah, I think Monkey Moon wanted the corner double. We've seen him score those before. It's an extremely difficult shot to hit. Relying pretty much on the first touch to be absolutely perfect, but from that close range, it's, I think, even for Monkey Moon, a low percentage shot, or at least low percentage in the sense that I don't think he's scoring it the majority of the time, but he can definitely score those on occasion. Here's Extra, accepting the infield pass, and VK Salen deflects it into the corner. That's a much better lofted clear ball there from VK Salen. Queso starting with, I think, their best game by far, and BDS, have they settled down too soon?
I mean, even remembering back to the last series, the first game looked great for Team Queso. While they didn't take the win, they had a solid start and applied a lot of pressure. Maybe this is just, the same pattern repeating itself, or maybe this is a game that Team Queso can actually close out. The second goal would have been so beneficial, but Atomic could not find the angle, and it gets saved. Team BDS, they're only within one.
Do like what I've seen from Queso so far. I say this with BDS over in offense, and they tend to score whilst you're praising the other team. But Queso had a better idea thus far. They're trying to set up for advantageous challenges, and they've been faster on the follow-up. Something that was very much missing in that first series. Something that was also going to have to try and keep up for a very, very long time. They have got to be better than BDS for 40 minutes at least.
Oh, well played.
That's going to be across the face of goal. Wow.
Atomic started the attack there with the defensive clear. Again, we've got to highlight success in an element of the game that they were constantly failing in the first series. So Queso, with just over a minute remaining, are hanging on to that 1-goal lead. And BDS, compared to their first series, been extremely timid.
Well, there was also some creativity, the second follow-up there. from Atomic, almost good, but I was just going to mention there's creativity from Team Queso. There's a first touch where they're keeping it within their own control. It's not linear, which is something that we said and talked about in the last series. They're trying to mix things up more, which is what BDS do so well and wonderfully, but now off the corner, maybe this could be the first goal for BDS. There's only 47 seconds left. They need something, and this could be it. It's off the post and out, and finally they get a clear from Team Queso.
Dementa just saw his life flash in front of his eyes. He knew he was the last one back, and he had no idea where it was going to go. Well played, though. Queso still have themselves in the game, but it didn't last. And with 29 seconds left, Team BDS break them down. One each.
Oh, what a pass by Monkey Moon. Mark calls it, he's in field, and Monkey Moon gives it right to him. There's no way that Mark misses from that range. He's so well known for just slotting every shot that he gets in that area, and just like that, Queso's hard work has been equalized.
I even view that pass there, that assist from Monkey Moon, as almost a fake. He rotated his car so he'd hit with the bottom of it, but initially, if you're a defender, the way he approached it looked like he was going to take a shot for the far corner, but maybe Team Queso could get something here, but that pass was just exquisite.
Extra. With Monkey Moon up in support, double commit means that Atomic has to try and buy some time here, get rid of it. Powerful clear from him. Looks to go even further. It's dropped over to BKC.
No way.
Couldn't find the target. This is a crucial overtime. We remember what happened in the first series. Remember how BDS came back, snatched game one, and ended up dominating for the rest of the series. Have to say, Team Queso need this.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Queso, they have to win this, or else their confidence will be completely destroyed once again. Here's Atomic, lingering up here. It's on target, but it's saved. And Mark by 8 is on the breakaway. I think he's already scored, but is Atomic going to make it? He is. What a recovery. Atomic trips up Mark on the way back, and they're still in game one.
That was crazy. It seemed like Mark was taking a slower approach, thinking that Atomic wasn't even going to get there in time. But the perfect flips, a lot of times you can overestimate how much you need to flip and then just become completely out of position. So Team Queso get the recovery and stay alive in OT. It was getting scary.
I want to point out, Atomic found the perfect flips with zero boost and pressure, but here comes Mark by 8. What a save! Still pressure on from BDS. Extra didn't want to go up for it. VK still in the midfield. He won't be passed to. Instead, it's a pass across field. Extra moves forward. Double commit again. Team Queso get a chance to breathe.
Yeah, what a save. It's been much better defensively from Queso, and now VK Salen's got an early interception on a BDS clear, but it's mopped up by Monkey Moon, finding Mark by 8, not for the first time this game.
Atomic wants to follow. He does get contact. Where's the support from the rest of his team? Will Team Queso get that same level of aggression that we saw during the regular time? Oh, huge miss from Dementa. He's left Atomic all by himself. And not for the first time. Atomic not only buys his team time, but he completely stops the pace of the play. Extra looks to finish it. Oh, and VK Salen keeps us going.
Still in this game, Queso putting in saves. This is reminiscent of the Queso Solary final game in the first day of competition. And now Queso take it to Mensa, top corner in the shot. They had the saves, they had the clears, and now they have the goal. Huge dunk by Mensa.
The positioning on that shot from Demensa to get to the far right side, assuming that, I believe it was Extra, was going to get the clear out just to make sure he has that angle. Not only does he win the challenge, he gets the dunk, and it slots into the top right corner. Team Queso, they've turned it around and taken their first game in the whole set.
And just to really put this into perspective, what we just went through, the turmoil that was that game, Queso got to do that 7 more times
70
in order to take this.
What is
that? Is ridiculous what is being asked of them, but that is one step in the right direction, Johnny.
Yeah, that's why I said, from the get-go, it's marked by 8-1. There's Queso's game. They've put in a monumental effort there. They've earned it. But surely still BDS the favorites to take this in 2 series back-to-back. I mean, if that's what you have to do to beat BDS, oh boy. Queso have got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do it every single overtime because there were pre-jumps all over the place for Team Queso. Pre-jumps sometimes are a momentum-based thing. If you start feeling it and you're predicting, well, maybe that could, be to their advantage, but I don't think so. Like you said, Donnie, that's a difficult task. What is going on? What is this start? This is horrible. We're starting to praise Team Queso, and then this happens.
Oh, well, you've got your nightmare scenario. We've seen it many times, Shogun. You've got one player cheating down the line, one player cheating down the middle, And Mark by 8 is just so close to the ball there. He's burst to it, puts Atomic in a really terrible position. I mean, anything other than a post pinch for Atomic is just going to go into the middle. And he didn't get a post pinch.
Yeah, for those of you watching Rocket League for the first time this week, hello, welcome to Rocket League Esports. It's usually a great time. If you want to get up to date with some of the terminology as well, that one's called a whoops. Not really what Queso needed, and that is already the momentum that they gained from the last game. At least a little bit died down. Still, I want to see Queso stick with what was working with them. Just allow themselves to play solo, force those challenges, and just see who the quicker team is. And they're doing a better job of it so far. Monkey Moon perfectly positioned to take control. Pass across field, VK Salem wasn't ready for it or just wanted to head back. Either way, BDS have now got possession of the ball yet again, and Dementa doesn't win the challenge. He jumps up and he hopes that he gets the contact that he needed.
Yeah, huge save there by Dementa. He's already having a completely upgraded defensive display. I mean, he was all over the place, and it got worse and worse throughout the last series we saw between these two teams. But hard reset, and massive credit to them for being able to reset between series and come out with the performance we're currently seeing from them. It hasn't just been the chaotic Queso in offense. They've had the saves. They've been making BDS work a lot harder for their chances. Now here comes Extra with one of them, and Dementa is going to block that one as well. And look where he's managed to hit the ball there, straight towards a teammate. And it's not in a position that BDS can follow up on. But they can follow up, but that one, oh my! Monkey Moon will pull goals out of anywhere.
And this is why you can't give him space off the backboard. If he beats you on that first challenge and there's space, he is 100% going to put a crazy shot on net. He does it there, the second goal for Team BDS, and they look solid.
Well, 2-0, BDS looking to try and prove that it was just a fluke. 3-0 up right here. Mark by 8 adds himself to the scoreboard. Johnny, I'm going to bring you into this conversation because you love this one. Kickoffs very much in favor of BDS throughout not only this series, but the last one.
I mean, just look at the speed of Monkey Moon. Blink and you miss him. He was so quick to get to that ball. He was the player who didn't have a 100 boost at the start of that aerial race, and he still gets there and knows exactly what he has to do. It doesn't really matter where you hit it as long as you get there first, because it's going to center itself off the corner wall. It's going to center off the side wall. It's going middle, and his teammate scored it.
So some weird positioning from Team Queso. All three players in the same spot, but I guess we're more used to that than I think any other team. And they still managed to get the recovery. There's a good little pre-jump from Dementa on the dunk, but Mark by 8 is in position. I have noticed that Team Queso in the second game, they're a little bit more confident. They are starting to assume they can win in the speed department because that's what helped them in the first game. But so far in the second, it has been all Team BDS. Every single goal, there's been one huge challenge win that results in a wide open opportunity. And there's another one there for Mark by 8.
It does bear repeating as well that BDS put themselves into that hole to start off with in the last game. It was a mistouch over on the defensive side that kind of gave away Team Queso's first goal. Queso, they're trying to find something that they can do consistently. Mark by 8, back over to Extra. Off the backboard one more time. Nobody over there, actually. Team Queso opting not to leave any troops over on that backboard. 2 minutes left, Johnny. Need themselves 3 goals and then one other one in overtime.
Oh, whatever Queso's conversation was after the first series loss, they just need to keep repeating that over and over again, because you know that there's going to be tough situations. There's going to be games where things like this happen. Whenever you play against BDS, you just have to remind yourself, well, we know we've got a win against them today, and we've got what it takes to take games and even a series off them this season. So let's just play our best. If you're gonna lose, at least go out playing the game and playing the style that you've been playing all season. And for Queso, it's been a very entertaining style to watch. It's been a style that's earned them loads of fans and international admiration, but it's not a style that's had them being the favorites against BDS at any stage throughout the season. And then you can say the same about every other team. The BDS, once again, just looked like they're way too good.
So a minute and 20 left here in game number 2. So far, BDS have made this look like this game was done a while back. Unless Atomic and the rest of them can actually explode into this game number 2. It might very well end this way. Monkey Moon takes his time. Look at the control.
We almost saw like a perfect demo with the timing. There was a pinch coming in from the sidewall, a demo then from Team Queso on Team BDS's third man. It didn't work out, but we have seen better plays. The creativity is there. I've seen the possession now stronger for Team Queso. They're going for some back passes while also incorporating that physical play. Another sidewall pinch to maybe open up an opportunity.
Okay.
It does result in a goal for VK Salen. These pinches really working out for Team Queso.
Yeah, that's huge, and that might be something they can utilize more often. I mean, not just the wall pinches, maybe throw in a few floor ones, ceiling. Why not even team pinches? That's the most Queso-sounding shot that I think I can come up with. And so anything unpredictable, really, because BDS have been intercepting them with ease, and they've been reading every single play Queso have been making. And I think Queso do need to just throw some more wild ones at them to get BDS out of the rhythm, or at least try to. I don't know if you can get BDS out of the rhythm, but you still got to give it a go.
Well, for Queso, they're going to get back into this. They need another goal very soon. Still get a chance to play it if at least 1 second is left on the clock by the time the goal goes in. But that goal will finish this game off. BDS not even scared by what was a late resurgence from their opponents.
Man.
I do have to agree with you. Atomic and the rest of Team Queso just need to repeat over and over again, whatever it was. It needs to be like a mantra at this point. Make it your catchphrase, whatever your coach said to you between series. It has to be what you follow, because this game got out of their hands a little bit too early. Just couldn't quite find their way back.
I suppose you just got to think of every game as just a best of one when you're playing BDS, especially right now, because if you're looking at it in the context of a whole series or a set, it is such an uphill battle, and it's such a terrible position to be in. But you know, Queso, you've won a game before this one. You're about to go into a game after this one. Just you know, you got to look at it as a best of one. Just play that game as well as you can. At the end of the day, that's your job at every stage during a Rocket League series, during a Rocket League tournament. And you have to, I think, compartmentalize when you play against BDS, because what they've done this season is just given them this aura around them, and all the teams that they play just fear them, and they can't perform to their best consistently. Whereas BDS, they're consuming all that fear. I think they just get it stronger and stronger, absorbing Queso's weakness right now. This is the point, Turtle. I mean, this is, I think, a turning point. If Queso can still be competitive in this game, they're in this. But if they put up another game, another 4-1 score in BDS favor, do they have any chance to come back mentally?
Oh man, I don't know. I think that you're right. This is the game they need to start taking control of, because at what point is it just too big of a mountain to climb? You know, you've got BDS who, like you said, they consume the fear that you have in the middle of the series. They don't get too overconfident. They just play their game. They're always level-headed, and that's a different type of breed, because it's really easy to, you know, become super egocentric and just start thinking that you can beat everybody to every single challenge. But that is not the case from BDS. They are still decisive on when to go up, when to go for a 50-50. Team Queso have got to recognize that. Keep throwing pinches at them. Keep throwing unique passes like this at them, and you might get the comeback.
Oh, look at
We're getting a bit more used to this.
Wow. That's the kind of touch that we want to see, Shogun. Just that one extra touch that you don't expect. You need that really badly right now to beat BDS, because when they're reading you on every single move, you got to make another move, an extra move that they don't see coming.
I think the big thing for me there is that Queso looked like they had the better kickoff of the two, and they looked like they had the better follow-up. For the most part, that has been BDS's this entire way through. They have set up better for their challenging player. Menso already around, not really able to follow up that hit though. But the most crucial battle that we're seeing right now is Marbait does demo one of the defenders. Has he got any support? Up goes Extra, still with the bump on the ball that almost set up Mark by 8. But when Queso have got their offense moving, they are committing to, they like the pre-jump with their second man. And when it doesn't work, it creates a very interesting matchup, because that becomes a huge task for the Team Queso third man. You're dealing with a counter-attack, you're dealing with a very likely 2v1. And for the most part, Atomic and Dementor fell into those positions as they go low. Oh, that is gross, Salen!
VK Salen sets up the first goal, and now Mind Games Monkey Moon for the second. What a solo play. And that is not easy to execute. I mean, Mind Games and Monkey Moon are so hard because he usually covers Mind Game and the shot. VK Salen completely sold him on that one.
I'm sure a lot of neutral fans are out there looking at this and going, 2-0? That's a secure game, surely. No problems. Nobody would drop a 2-goal lead, unfortunately. It is still very much to fight for. BDS have already turned one of these around. Dementor knows that, sets himself up, and these wolves are their friends. They've created another.
Okay. Queso not just looking for those slim pickings anymore. They've feasted in the first minute and 13 seconds of game 3.
It's the follow-up, too, after that challenge. He wins the 50 on the sidewall and barely has any boost left. A lot of players would go for a dribble into the corner and try to set up somebody else, but no, that's just all Dementor going himself after the 50, the recovery, and then the difficult shot to get the angle off the post. That's everything you can ask for from a striker.
Oh, follow-up to BK Salem. 4th goal surely would have done it. So 3 goals with 3.5 minutes left. BDS will look at this as a challenge. There's the first one, and now 2 more to go.
It's just too easy. It's unfortunate for Queso because, you know, you say maybe 4 is not is enough, but I don't think it is. I don't think you can ever say it's enough. When you look at a clock and you see 3:20 remaining, you already know BDS are going to put more than 2 good shots on target in 3 minutes, 20 seconds. That's one of them. And it involved a Queso player just not getting a sidewall read right. And BDS did extra now, blocking a top corner shot. Mark's quickest to the second ball at the near post. Queso have to be as solid as possible here. They've, you know, scored enough goals. They've scored more goals, well, as many goals here in this game as they did in the entire first series. So job done there. Now, don't make any mistakes.
Mensa powers the ball. Mark Baye, great challenge from him. We already covered just how good Mark Baye is at holding that midfield. Even scored off somebody's attempted clear during our last major finals. We're just launching it over to the wall, and Mark decided, yeah, I'm just going to pinch that against the wall right up here, put that one into the back of the net, so nowhere's really all that safe from him. This has been good so far from Queso. They're not overcommitting. They're realizing that this lead that they've got is pretty good. Put some sustained pressure on. BK Salem, pretty easy for him to take that one back over.
Ooh, almost thought I'd see something there from Team Queso out of BK Salem. I have really appreciated the fact that Team Queso are challenging much smarter than they have in the previous few games, especially the ones that they've obviously lost. And now the demos from Atomic, this could relieve some pressure. You're wasting valuable seconds off the clock. Maybe though a follow-up from Mark by 8 could lead to something extra was in position, but it was just a little bit too slow.
Yeah, great save once again by Queso. Atomic making it happen, but BK Salem's missed in the back wall. Mensa, luckily for Queso, was able to cover Mark by 8's shot. Now here's another one. It's extra in the middle, unable to get the shots on net. Queso are starting to feel the pressure once again. It's a familiar thing for them at the moment. But can they hold on against it? I think Monkey just ran out of boost at the last second there. Queso catching breaks here. But these are still opportunities for BDS, and that's a terrifying fact.
If Queso can just get rid of the ball, they would consider that as big of a win as scoring off the back.
My goodness!
Monkey Moon! From a standstill, flip reset, double.
Oh my goodness, the flip reset was crispy right there. You get the flip out and then just scoop the ball. That was ridiculous, and there's plenty of time for BDS now to find the third one.
I mean, the clue's in the name. I suppose we should have known he's on a different planet with Moon in the title, but somebody tell him the Moon ain't a planet. Get back to Earth, give us a chance.
How do you even expect that if you're a defender on the flip reset? It was an absolute scoop of a flip reset. Crazy.
And it was just so out of nowhere as well. Everybody was around for passes. Speaking of which, next we go to the other side of the field. It's a bit of a miss on the backboard. VK Salem smartly doesn't go for net. Saw Monkey Moon come for the challenge. 45 seconds left, and only 1 goal separates them. Team Queso once again desperately trying to keep a hold of their lead. Atomic, not a great hit by him.
Oh no.
Does get it back again.
Yeah, great follow, Atomic. Following up on what could have been another one of those soft clears that we saw so often in the first series. We said it, Queso have to win this game. They have to stay competitive. They've been competitive here, but losing a 3-goal lead would be devastating for them. That's not happening at the moment though. Last chance of the game for BDS in regulation. Queso still have boost in defense.
Monkey Moon can't beat Salen to the ball. Salen looks to follow it. He looks to finish it.
Oh,
It's
he
off the
missed.
post. There's another one off the post. And they'll just watch it hit the floor. Queso had 2 separate opportunities to finish it off, but eventually gravity did the job for them.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was slipping in. You know, you get a shot in, and then you're up against BDS. You give them a little bit of a chance. With how threatening they are, maybe there was something they could have started. But Team Queso, you're lucky nobody was there.
Queso, can you make one of these wins easy on yourselves, please? Okay, the 2 wins that you've got have been heart in your mouth affairs. It has been ridiculous. Good news, halfway done now for this series. And if they can get it done, it would be 1 best-of-7 away from us potentially losing BDS. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
Goodness.
I don't want to try and even contemplate that thought for now. I'm sure Queso are doing much the same because, as you said, Johnny, this has been a game-by-game affair. When BDS have won, they've looked dominant. When Queso have won, they've looked anything but they're still getting the job done.
Yeah, they have had to really grind out these wins, 2-game wins, and they've probably exerted so much energy just to get those. And they need 2 more. And like I said, it's halfway there. And just think about it game by game. That game's in the past. Well done. Let's just play another game, and we'll see what we can do. Already though, BDS have got an early lead, and that's a bad sign. 'Cause every time that they do this, they tend to run away with it.
Yeah, I was just about to talk about it. You can tell that Team Queso, they look great in the beginning. Unfortunately, if you're a fan of them, not in this game in particular, but previously they start out well, but then slowly break down towards the end. And if you're giving BDS an early lead in any game, that could be the end of it.
I mean, there's good news and bad news. The bad news is they went down, but the good news is they did it in the most Queso way possible, triple committing over on the left-hand side. So if you are Team Queso and you're a Team Queso fan, there's the usual issues. We see that, almost able to pinch it low and from the sides. Queso looking competitive though in this series. They've got Demensa and a little bit too high for him.
So Queso, for the time being, look like they're bringing that same speed and that same aggression that they had early in the last series, but Monkey Moon has censored it, and that is as open as you're ever going to get. Marked by 8, puts it in. Oh, look at this assist by Monkey Moon. He just chips it middle and bumps the defender at the same time.
And it all comes down to that little delay. You could see he stuttered on the backboard for a split second. Everybody on Team Queso thought he was going to pop the ball out a little bit earlier, but Monkey Moon slowed the pace down just slightly. And that is what threw the whole defense of Team Queso off. Got the pass in the middle. Maybe a follow-up from Monkey Moon, but that clear is ridiculous. That's going to go in unless the save comes out. What is this from BDS? What a save.
It just summarizes the whole series. You just can't have an easy one against BDS. Nothing's easy when you play them. You don't get free goals.
Well, they at least got close and almost caught them on the counter-attack. BDS, though, they'll consider that warning shot and acknowledge it. Almost found the double tap there from Demensa. VK7 already holding back. Wants to avoid being bumped. Over to the side, VK Salen looks to keep the pressure on. Monkey Moon back into the midfield by Mark. Demensa takes his time. Back into the midfield again, almost caught them out. Now the shot, another good save.
Free jump save by Monkey Moon there. Putting in work in offense. It's very easy to see the work he's doing up there, but defensively, he just doesn't put a wheel wrong. And he so rarely does anything wrong when the pressure's at its peak like it currently is. And another solid 50 deflects the ball to the corner.
Oh, this is solid pressure from Team Queso. I like the way they're moving forward. You've seen a 50 win there. And then now Demensa, the first touch, whenever he goes slow, that's how you know Team Queso are feeling strong. They were getting a couple of solid wins even in this series. I believe in both the games that they did take a win on. Demensa was going for slower touches, bringing the ball down. That dominance can get some solid 50-50s. And maybe that could spark something here for the offense of Team Queso, because 2 minutes and 20 seconds, BDS, if their defense holds up, I mean, it could be scary if you let them even smell match point.
Back down to Mensa. Well, that was the last thing you wanted to see, and that was extra following up. It's a weird style of clears that we have got used to from BDS, where it starts off with just a great hit in the midfield, and they're still capable of recovering from that position and making sure that they follow it up. So you're not really getting a free range of where you want to put it. Typically, they give you two options. Get challenged or put it into the ceiling. Either way, we're going to keep that pressure on you.
They're just masterful, absolutely masterful at containing their opponents. They're not giving Queso 50s.
Look at
they
this.
can't get out. Queso are looking time and time again for 50-50s, but every time you just have a fadeaway challenge from a BDS player, and eventually they starve their opponents some boost, and they apply the finishing blow. 3-0 BDS cannot be broken once they get a lead.
That is absolutely ridiculous from Team BDS. You had, I believe it was Extra taking the initial shot. Monkey Moon now comes in for the follow-up. Every time that Team BDS have a shot on net, they don't rotate out unless they have to, unless they're forced to in that situation. They stay up, they keep the pressure on. They are the best at keeping possession in Team Queso. It is overwhelming them, to say the least.
Atomic would like to at least get a sympathy goal, a consolation goal, something. This looks like it is game done. And it has followed the bit of a pattern that we have seeing emerge over here in our second series. BDS win, they do it commandingly. And Queso win, they barely win. But this will be not necessarily the end of their road at the moment. They will know that as long as they can start well, they have done pretty solid so far. But this was a sort of game where the Team Queso playstyle did not work out for them. They made a couple of mistakes. They gave away a cheap goal to start off with. And from there on out, BDS really started to run away with it. One thing you did mention there, Turtle, was the fact that, I think it might have been Johnny, I'm not too sure. One of you did mention that every single time we are now seeing Queso look for these dribble plays, it's not working as well as it was. That was their main change that we saw coming into this series. And it looks like BDS have already adapted to it.
Well, yeah, the BDS, they've identified that Queso are just trying to force those dribbling plays out of defense, which I think is a good idea by Queso. But instead of just driving headlong into the ball and just giving them the 50-50 that they're clearly looking for, BDS are going for drive-by demos, drive-by boost steals, just anything other than giving Queso free momentum on the ball. And when that happens, it's very difficult for Queso to move the ball out of their defensive corners. Because BDS are just too smart. They are reading those plays that Quesos are trying to make. And I don't know where Queso go when they're down here. I think you just got to go next because they're completely blown away once again. As soon as BDS get a substantial lead, there's just no coming back. Whereas, like we've mentioned, when Queso are in front by the similar margins, BDS comebacks just seem so real, and the possibility of them just seems like so tangible. We're still in a tie game. That being said, or tie series, I should say. You know, dominated wins in games, they still only count for one. And that's what Queso have to remind themselves.
That save early on from Extra, where he was running back to receive the clear and get the hit out, was crucial, because we talk about Queso being such a momentum-based team. If you give them one goal early on, which that would have given them enough time to maybe get some momentum going, anything. It was such a crucial play there from Team BDS. They're going to need to make similar plays now because everything is coming down to the last game.
Well, for Team Queso, they'll know that they've been in some scraps already this week. Taken to overtime in the final set. Over against Solary, they were able to take that one. They know how to deal with the pressure. At least the mental pressure. Can they deal with the physical pressure that has been exerted by BDS? Can they get that first goal? Or will Monkey Moon turn in a play like that? Threat already established by BDS.
Yeah, BDS, once again, they just advance, they take away the boost, and they keep the ball moving at such a threatening pace. They keep threatening shots on target at a regularity that forces Queso to use what little boost they have to scramble back into position. And when they get there, they're still getting beaten to the ball. Atomic with a key touch there. Had he not been there, that was an uncontested shot for BDS. And that's the sort of play that Queso have to keep making. They have to be in the right place at the right time. There's Demensa now blocking Monkey Moon's shot, and Atomic just deflects Marks into the corner. BDS have still got all the boost, they've still got all the pressure, and Queso, they're looking for a lifeline.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Team Queso. And we mentioned how important it is to not give BDS that clean start. You need to get on the board first if you are Team Queso, or at least have an instant response, because all the pressure has been in favor of BDS.
Okay.
The shot is a little bit off, a bit surprising there from BDS, but regardless, they keep this one going.
I mean, there's no boost. Queso just have nothing. They have absolutely nothing left. They've tried to hang on here, but they've just got no way to continue making saves, and it's just too fast. Mark just sends it into the top corner at a pace that they can't respond to. 1-0 BDS again.
This is to try and get hold of series point. Winner of this one only has to win one of the next two. Off the backboard, VK Zilla not the best clear from him. It's right into the path of Monkey Moon. He waits for it, almost picked up the first challenge. Demensa clears. Extra, as always, holds his position well. For Queso, it's very difficult for them to try and break away and find their opportunities, because you're just hoping that everyone on your team has got enough boost for the situations you find yourself in. Atomic will have enough boost to try and pass that one over to Demensa. Passes need to be a little bit more accurate. Demensa still makes it work. Fakes it off for Atomic. Looks for the shot back to VK Salen. Lots of steps to it, but a very difficult final one to try and accomplish.
Oh, the creativity is definitely there, though. Another pinch that goes across the goal. Team Queso do look solid, but one critique I have is just the passing doesn't have the finesse you need. That was a crucial clear, and there's always somebody from BDS to recover and keep the ball forward.
It's just terrifying. Watching any BDS player advance or watching the ball anywhere near Queso's goal, quite frankly, it's convincing me that it's going to be a goal every single time because of the way that BDS have dominated in their victories and dominated the entire first series here. But Queso have slowed them down here. They've at least kept it close, and that's a great shot. Another pinch center goes a bit too far. Of course, hard to control those in any way. Queso are in a decent position here. I say decent because they really haven't had much to write home about. That's a good save, but it's in the middle for Monkey Moon. Another VK Salen off the underside of his own crossbar to deny Monkey Moon the 2-goal lead.
Team Queso almost put themselves into a world of trouble. They have no idea why they centered it on themselves. Hey, they've got rid of it for the time being. Minute and 40 left. Team BDS still up by 1, and we have not seen Queso mount a comeback yet. They've won. They've won from what looked like comfortable positions, turned into very uncomfortable positions with the leads that they've had. This is the one that they've got to try trail and bring something back from. Over to the corner. Atomic is out of here for the time being. Back to the midfield. VK Stella not the angle he wanted to take that shot from. Demensa keeps it around. Did eventually run out of boost. This can be a late rotation back from him.
Minute and 10 seconds left, and for me it seems like Team Queso can't control their power, but on the other side, Team BDS off the backboard. One counterattack, one transition, and it's Atomic making a horrible touch.
Yeah, it's all gone wrong. Atomic's really just looking for a pinch that will go right across the face of goal into the far corner where it would be a safe place. You can see that there was no one from BDS over there, but he didn't get the second touch after the ball hit off the wall and came back towards him. It's just gone into the middle, and as usual, there's a BDS player there waiting for it. Marked by 8, almost makes it 3. Is it too far gone? Even with 50 seconds left, Queso just haven't been able to accomplish any kind of comeback today, and they need one now more than ever.
Monkey Moon, what a flick that is. Right over the top of the crossbar. Supplies his team a little bit more time as ebbs away there from Team Queso. Over the top, great transition play from BDS, but it's held up in the midfield. Monkey Moon takes his time, marked by 8. It's not needed as Monkey Moon wants to try and take on everybody. 20 seconds left now.
And still a chance for Queso, but with that kind of shot, it's just not going to happen. It's too low, too slow, and against BDS, I think only top corners suffice. Final few seconds of the game confirm what we all expected. BDS are on the cusp of a grand final at the RLCS X Championships. Queso still in this, but they are hanging on by the smallest thread I think I've ever seen. It's been such a difficult task for them to even win games here today, Turtle, and they need 2 in a row now. They haven't done that all day.
I mean, this is just painful for Team Queso, and I don't even say that, you know, from a stance where Team BDS are just absolutely obliterating them in this series, while the previous series was definitely a different story. This one for Team Queso is much, much more competitive. They look great with the offensive transitions. But for me, they just need to control the power. That's the one thing I think can make a difference here and get them to at least another game win. They need to stop hitting the ball with so much power because the positioning for passes is there, but they oftentimes will just smack it to the other side where nobody can receive it.
We did say the BDS look like they have adapted to what Queso had done heading into our second series. We didn't see any timeout from Queso. Either that means they just want to go next, or that they are now out of ideas. They had their last real new strategy to go against them, and they're just hoping that it works from here on out. Either way, 2 wins in a row required from Team Queso. Otherwise, they will be eliminated in the semifinals. Still a fantastic series or season if that ends up being the case. But they don't want that. They want even top looks of vitality in the finals.
I don't know if anyone can stop them right now, but Queso are the first ones tasked with that. And honestly, still, should they go out today, an impressive, I think ridiculously impressive season by Queso, helping put Spain on the map for Rocket League. Obviously, they've got the help of players like Mark by 8 and a whole wealth of others who have been phenomenal for Spain in RLCS Season X. Queso, the most successful full Spanish roster that we've ever seen. And even they can't compete with BDS today. But they're still in this series, they're still in this set. And they are just trying desperately not to put a foot wrong.
I'm sure Spain can be incredibly proud of themselves. Not even represented back in Season 7. They've managed to get themselves involved in Season 8, and they've taken over. Right up there with some of the French and British rosters as top of Europe. That one's all the way down extra. Which ends up tapping that one back up over to Demensa. Back out again, extra, keeping the pressure on. Back by Monkey Moon, Demensa, that's what he wanted it. Half volley clear. So Atomic wants to find somebody on his squad. Nobody around for them right now.
Yep.
Demensa will clear, and up comes VK Salen. Down goes VK Salen without use of the ball.
You love to see the pressure that BDS are applying. Still looking just as threatening, but Team Queso, it does seem like the positioning for receiving these clears is a little bit deeper, like this one. Atomic is in position. This is all I was asking for. Somebody downfield. The clear, while it's strong, the positioning is even better. Atomic was right there, ready for it, and puts a banger on net.
What a finish. What power from Atomic to sink in the opening goal. And we know that from this point onwards, it's going to be far from easy, but that's the first step completed for Queso. Goal has been secured. But now Extra's mind game 1 flicked to second. Atomic called into action as third man, and he does well, but only well enough to get it to Monkey Moon, and that turns out was not the right place to put the ball because it's been sent right back into the middle. And Mark shoots just as well as Atomic did for the first goal.
And that split-second decision-making, the instant midfield pass, and then a lot of times Mark by 8 would look for another pass, but he recognizes the defense is all over the place from Team Queso. One early shot, and now off the kickoff, things are looking deadly for BDS. You think Team Queso might have a chance now to bring it to Game 7, but BDS, they are lurking for that win.
Oh, good play from Monkey Moon. Found the one spot on the field that wasn't being covered. Back out to Extra. Has got Monkey Moon on his left. Does he need him? Demensa, good hit. Still that pressure is on as Atomic happy to see for once that he can play the ball without being hit. He has been consistently hounded over on that goal line every time he tries to set himself up for a save. 2 minutes left. Off the backboard. Mark by 8, already up. VK Selen beats him to it. Over to the far side. Demensa will be tasked with keeping this pressure going. He's forced the earlier touch. Have Queso got it in them to try and get one more and force Game 7. Rob BDS that step beyond. That's the shot! Oh. And if it's gonna happen, Team Queso need a big minute and a half.
And it's just the power, it's the accuracy from BDS. Once again, Extra sinks it into the bottom corner. And they lead by 1 with just over 90 seconds remaining. Is this going to be the last 90 seconds of the season for Team Queso? Or do they have any more fight left in them? It's been such a monumental effort up until this point. And BDS have made them work so hard all the way.
And you see how badly Team Queso want this win. They're going for demos, anything to throw off BDS. Right there, you see Atomic taken out, marked by 8. This could result in some space, maybe a passing play. The duo up top doesn't result in anything, and we've got Team BDS down the other way.
1 minute left. Monkey Moon looking for that second goal, looking for the finisher. Not going to happen just yet for them. VK7 ends up being called off. Atomic, that's pretty much a nothing play from them, but so far BDS have not wanted to try and put any pressure on. Over to the corner. Opportunity for Atomic. He's not taking it. Very nervy moments right now from Team Queso. They've got to find their opportunity. VK7 is not in position to keep that one up for a shot.
Time running out for Queso. But still, the fight is there. It's visible to see. They are advancing as an entire team now. There's no time left for defense. If you can see it again, it doesn't matter. The result is the same. You just have to throw everything at BDS right now. Take as many chances as you can.
Salem looking for one more. Monkey Moon over to Mark by A crucial race, and it's one that the team over on BDS have won.
10 seconds.
So, coast to coast required from Team Queso. Dementor with time powers it forward. Is the mistake there? Up goes Atomic. It goes back down. That's not the bounce that Salem needed. He's got to take that ball the whole way. He couldn't do so. Team BDS have made it to the grand finals.
And a team who have won every single grand final that they have played in RLCS Season X have just made another one. Wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. We don't even need a grand final. BDS are in it. Team Queso, still though, we have to talk about their season. We have to send them off with a massive round of applause because they came out of nowhere at the start of the season in RLCS Season X. They had a couple of runs that were put down to just, luck or maybe a honeymoon phase, Cinderella run, whatever you want to call it. But they've actually shown up and continued to produce that kind of form throughout the entire season. And this week has been, even, despite this loss to BDS, has been a great week for them. They destroyed Guild yesterday. They bested Solary in a fantastic set at the start of the competition, but it was inevitable. BDS were just too much for them. BDS continue to just be the team to beat in Europe, and they continue to be the team that no one in Europe is beating.
Yeah, and they still managed to bounce back even after losing in a sweep in a best-of-7 against BDS to keep it competitive, to make some fantastic plays here. We talked a lot about Team BDS, but like you said, Johnny, you have to credit Queso, what they've done, the history of their team, how far they've made it, and the potential moving forward is just overwhelming, and it's definitely going to be exciting to see where they go.
Well, back over in the fall, I asked you guys on a yay or nay whether or not you thought we'd even see Magnifico again in a top 8. 30% said, nah, not a chance. Well, those 30% were very wrong. They've done themselves incredibly well. They've evolved into Team Queso. They got themselves a top 4. But the Team BDS hype train rolls on. They've got themselves another grand final. They've got a grand slam to play for tomorrow. Leaf, over to you.
I think at the end of the day, Queso has to be very happy with where they've gone. We've talked about this a few times, Gibbs, with this format allowing teams to show up like this, and they've gone extremely far for where it started.
And every time BDS plays, we have this conversation in every single tournament. Like, well, that other team, you had a good run. And that's what it comes down to. BDS is just too good. They didn't dominate the series, which is actually probably a better sign for them to be challenged. But every game they were down, it was slowly climbing back. And it was like, oh, will BDS actually make a 3-goal comeback? No, but they made it close. But then when they had the lead, they just expanded on it in all those games, a 4-0 game, a 5-0 game. Like, that's what BDS does. BDS, and it's all 3 players. All 3 players getting involved throughout this series. They are so deadly on the field.
It's what they've been doing all season, Gibbs. Starting off at 8 out of 10, 80%, pretty close to most other teams' peak. And then somehow, throughout the series, or in this case, throughout the set, continuing to improve as they go along. The number of goals that they were scoring. I mean, Monkey Moon put in a performance in particular. Look at that pass right there, showing us why all season long we've been saying he is the absolute best. Not to mention the goal of the season, the flip reset where the dodge into the ball carried him to the ball for the double tap. Sublime.
Yeah, that's gonna make top 10 plays very easy at the end of the week. I got number 1 locked in, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. And to talk about that victory, we have a very regular guest on the show. Extra is joining us to talk about it. What's up? How you doing,
What's
Extra?
up, guys? Yeah, I'm doing good, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, of course you're doing good. You're in the grand finals of the European Championships. Congratulations on that. I have to ask you, about just overall. We were like, yeah, of course they're going to take it, no problem, over Team Queso. But Queso did have a bit of a fight back. Can you talk to me about what changed from that first series to the second series that made it a bit closer?
I think we lost the momentum during the break, like 10 minutes break, and we lost the momentum we had in the first best of 7. So they could catch up a bit with us, but we got the game at the end. So that's the most important thing.
Ultimately.
So we heard you say, like in the interview, that Queso might be the hardest opponent that is here still. But are you concerned, like after seeing Top Oaks play, plus Vitality on 30 days of prep, are you afraid of either of those teams?
I'm less afraid of them than Queso. Like I said, I think that Queso was the hardest opponent for us only.
Yeah.
Like they have a tough playstyle for us, but no, I'm not that scared of Vitality or Top Blocks.
What a sentence that is. I'm not
that.
scared of Vitality.
I mean, which of those two teams do you think you are going to play? Who do you bet? Because Team Vitality have been slowing down recently, and Top Blokes have come back into form, but you play these guys behind the scenes more than we know them.
Yeah, it's hard to say because Top Blocks is doing pretty good in this tournament, but I know Vitality is like coming clutch every time there is a big tournament as well. Like the K-Dub Fractor, for example.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to expect. It's going to be a good game, I guess.
So we spoke yesterday about this matchup in particular, and you brought up Monkey Moon a few times, and then you were saying that, well, you're the only one who actually does these interviews. So I wanted to ask, because Monkey Moon just appeared so incredibly well in that game and looked fantastic, what made him so good in that series?
I think me and Mark did a great job letting him have a space, like because Queso doesn't let you play, so we had to demo Chase, and so Monkey Moon could do some plays at the end.
Hey, well, at the end of the day, it worked out. If you know a player is ready to pop off,
The
you just
game plan.
Yeah, give them the space, and the game plan followed through, and you guys are now sitting in the grand finals of the European Championship. So. Not unexpected, but still congratulations, because you still have to work for it. So congrats on that win and good luck